Hello, and
Hello.
welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We're glad to have you here this week on this Tuesday Talks with the Conways. We are going to give everyone a few minutes to go ahead and hop on, and let me switch over to our chat so we can make sure we see every chat that comes in.
Yes.
Yes, we're getting used to this new platform, so a little less quirks this week. So hopefully everyone had a really good week this week. We are gearing up for the school year. So our
Yes.
daughter starts first grade tomorrow.
I
Little
start back to work tomorrow.
little sad.
Yes. I told her today she's not allowed to grow up. She told me she'll always be my little baby, even when she's old.
That's what we keep telling her. She's always going to be our little baby, even though even whenever she's 40 or 50
She
or
also pinky
70.
promised that when she's a teenager, she won't slam doors in my face. So
We shall see
we'll see about that.
if that holds true. So hopefully she will be as kind to us as we were to our parents. We were our parents' easier-ish children. So hopefully she follows a suit. All right, I think we've got a decent amount of people
Is there-
joining. I'm not seeing any chat though. So I don't know if anybody has commented.
There we go.
There we go.
They
Oh,
just
perfect.
all popped up.
Yep, took a little
Hello,
bit.
everyone.
Yes. So we've got Joy and Devin on YouTube, and Lydia and Stacy, Radina, Joy. So glad.
I wish I went back on August 24th. I need a few more weeks.
Yeah, but that's okay. We also get out of school a little early
Yeah.
too. So yep. We got Jody.
Hello, Jody.
Mentioned that she got rid of Instagram for a little bit. So glad to have you here. And we've also got somebody on Instagram from Tennessee. We are not too far south. We are in Alabama, about 30 minutes from Tennessee. So glad to have you here
Just
with
a
us.
hop, skip, and a jump.
Yes, and we've got Melissa here with us this evening too. So
Hello.
very glad to have you all here. So we will go ahead and get started with our topic. Though I do want to recap that if you want to watch any of our previous ones, you can catch the archive on YouTube if you want to watch us. But also the audio versions of the podcast are available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. So if you want to take a listen while you're in the car or working out, feel free to as well. And if you would like to introduce our topic for the evening, we'll go ahead and get started.
Yes, tonight we're talking about the mental battle of weight loss, because your mind is just as important as what you put in your body, the exercise, everything. It's just as important.
Sorry, I just knocked some stuff over.
Sometimes it can be more important. So the mental battle, because it is a mental battle.
Absolutely. So weight loss is not just a physical challenge; it's also a mental one. And honestly, in fact, your body isn't usually the first thing that wants to give up. Usually, it's the mind. So that's something we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the challenges that that the health journey always entails, and some things that you can do to help minimize things. Because we definitely felt like giving up before, but
multiple times.
Yes, but we haven't, and we're still here. And I'm sure lots of other people have thought about quitting too, and our job is to help encourage you to not give up and push forward, and we'll just be talking about all of this. So feel free to comment either on Instagram or YouTube or whatever platform you're on with questions. If you want to interject anything that you struggle with, feel free. We're happy to have you share. We love when our podcasts are interactive. So
Yes.
I think everyone has experienced starting strong, seeing great results. I know when we first started our journey.
Like, because I was almost 400 pounds. He was over 400 pounds. So I was losing like 10 pounds the first couple of weeks. And I was like, heck yeah. Then after that, it didn't go so great.
Yep. And so then we hit a plateau, then you feel discouraged, and then you start to wonder, is it really worth it? So everyone goes through those, and you probably also will cycle through those multiple times. We've been there. We've had plateaus, and then we started losing again and seeing good progress, and then we got stuck again and got discouraged. So it's just really it's like a roller coaster. There's going to be lots of ups and lots of downs. So, but I'm sure everyone at some point has experienced all of those things.
Yes, and sometimes it's something that's not talked about very often is the mental aspect of it. And that's why today we don't really want to talk about diets or workout routines or the things that we're always talking about on health journeys. We want to talk about the mindset that keeps you going long enough to succeed, because at the end of the day, if your mindset's not right, if your mind's not in it, it's probably not going to work out.
It's not going to last. You're not going to push through or persevere.
Mhm.
So we definitely want to, we've always been big advocates for mental health, but we really wanted to focus on that this cycle this
Mhm.
week, just to make sure that you have all the tools you need to be successful forever,
Yeah.
not just the next week, not the next month or this next year, but we want you to have a successful journey
Mhm.
all the way through till your happy ending.
Yes, and because this is something we are so passionate about, we will see if we can get through it in one segment, but we'll see. It might be a two-parter because we can go on about this for a very long time.
Absolutely. And weight loss is more than just calories. While a calorie deficit matters, we've talked about this multiple times. You really can't have any success without having a calorie deficit.
Mhm.
But so does your stress, your sleep, anxiety, depression, self-esteem, which is really, really big for us.
Mhm.
Not always easy to have that on. And then expectations. So this journey is all of those things combined.
Yes, and I will throw one thing out there. So, as you know, we've talked multiple times about how this year we have been consistent, more consistent than we've probably ever been.
Mhm.
And one thing I want to just let be known, I struggle with anxiety big time. He can tell you, like, there's been times that I woke him up in the middle of the night for no reason and like had panic about like complete what ifs. So, towards the end of last year, I actually went on anxiety medication. And I really think that that is part of why this year I've been as successful as I have. Because when I have anxiety, I either don't eat or I eat too much. There's two. And so
Neither of
looking
those
at
are
that,
healthy.
yes. And so looking at that, the anxiety was one of the reasons that I kept giving up.
Mhm.
And I'm convinced that going on medication, and medication is not for everyone, but I'm just saying for myself, I'm convinced that that's one of the reasons why I've been able to be consistent, because there's no longer that mental battle there.
Yes, and Jody on Instagram, or not sure which one that is, mentions that she's working with a dietitian, and she writes down every bite, lick, or taste. Um, and she journaling. Courtney is a big proponent of journaling.
Yes.
Journaling helps you realize patterns and figure out triggers and whatnot, and helps you figure out where you may need to adjust. And Lydia mentions some things can trigger you, and you can't get out of your mind. So
Mhm.
absolutely, those are definitely part of it. Jody also mentions that she used Peloton workouts, and Spotify helps for something different. We've talked about this in the past. YouTube is also a really good place to find videos to work out along if you just need some change up. So absolutely.
Mhm. But someone can be doing everything right physically. You can be eating right. You can be exercising. You can be doing everything right. But if you struggle mentally, you're going to end up exhausted. You're going to end up wanting
Mhm.
to give up because you're not right up there
Mhm.
with where you need to be with your mental battle. And that does not mean that you automatically have anxiety. You automatically have depression. Sometimes it's just a mental battle of whether you can keep going or not on
Mhm.
the health journey, because it can be exhausting.
Absolutely. And if every day feels like a punishment, eventually you'll stop showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about pushing through, those times where you don't have the motivation. But if you never get the motivation, it's going to be really difficult to persevere on your journey. So we want to make sure that you're not feeling like every day is a punishment.
Yes. And that actually one of our topics that we might do next is building healthy habits that do not feel like punishment.
Mhm.
Because if it feels like punishment, like he said, you're not going to want to continue going.
Absolutely. We talked about a lot of times about kind of rewarding yourself, having what you want with what you need. There are ways that you can reward yourself without going way overboard. And rewards are some people's motivation. We were talking about our daughter for her little pre-questionnaire for school, and some of the things that motivate her, and some of the things that motivate her are goals and having kind of prizes. So if you set these goals, if you do this and this, and you do it well, then you can have this. You can go somewhere
And what
fun.
she said was a party. Like if you
Mhm.
give her like an ice cream party, she's going to work hard towards that ice cream party.
Absolutely. So the same goes for us. find things that reward you. We talked about before. Courtney, she loves cups. And cups also help her get her hydration in. But those can be used as motivation. You don't always have to have motivation like rewards be food. Sometimes it doesn't work well for some people.
I actually wanted a 40 ounce, which he has one right here, mine somewhere. A 40 ounce Awala like this. And when I got to 100 pounds, I finally was like, I'm rewarding myself with that Awala, and it has been instrumental in getting my water in. So definitely rewards. And then Joy mentions that she was told that her hormone patch is out of stock and the manufacturer isn't making enough, so her weight could skyrocket and she is terrified. And that is a real struggle. As somebody that has gained, when we got married and I was put on birth control, I gained 70 pounds in the first year because my hormones were out of whack because of the birth control. And it was a mental battle up here. And it's rough, especially when you think, like, when your hormones are out of whack, whether it be because of a medication or because of not getting a medication, it really can cause some serious mental battle. So I totally get that.
Yes, Joy mentions she had enough calories or bites left in her plan today to have some moose track ice cream. Speaking of, it's actually on my other screen.
It's right there.
Yeah, Healthy shared on the members meeting and support group a picture of her delicious ice cream.
That looks good. I might have to have some. I have enough calories left over. I might have to have some.
So definitely rewards.
That's
and then Joy mentions that.
Go away. Okay.
I accidentally clicked on our live on accident, so that you might have had an echo there. But yes, so reward yourself with those things and make sure that it fits within your day. And we definitely have enough calories and bites in our day to have a little sweet treat at the end of the night too. So that is something that we will do. But there, one thing to notice is the scale is not the whole story of your weight loss and your health journey. There are lots of things that can affect the scale. We've talked about a lot of them in the past. Water, your salt content, hormones. Poor Courtney, she 2 weeks out of the month, basically, during her monthly and also during ovulation, she tends to bloat
bloated like 5 pounds
and carry a lot of extra weight. So that is part of it. Digestion. If you have heavy volume eating of food, you still met your calories, but it physically was a little bit much. That can also cause you to retain a little bit of weight.
Yes, and then one thing people don't talk about very much is muscle soreness. If you've had a good workout, especially if you start strength training, you're gonna hold on to water around those muscles. It's protecting those muscles, so it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But you will be bloated. That's something I had to learn the hard way when I started strength training, because I was up like 12 pounds, but I was physically losing. So that's one reason why the weight is not always the full story, and you have to look at everything. But when you see that scale goes up, it does mess with your brain. So that's something you really need to learn, is that the scale is not the whole story.
Somebody mentions on Instagram that time management is not good, and she's the caregiver for her husband, and finding time to eat properly or exercises, it's a really, really difficult, and also stress eating.
Yes. So one thing that I will say, when I had the anxiety issues that would cause me to eat a lot, I would plan something every single night. Whether I ate it or not, I would plan out my day and I would plan something every single night, and something that I knew would be good, that I would like. So a lot of times it was my yogurt bowl that had Reese's in it. It felt like a dessert to me. Or sometimes it would be something like Quest chips if I knew I was feeling super snacky. So one thing as a stress eater, if you know you're probably not going to be able to say no, plan something you can eat while you're stressed. And if it's planned out in your day, it's so much easier to manage it.
Yeah, but and like she mentions, it also gives her something to look forward to. So if you know you've got a really good, delicious dessert that fits within your day, that doesn't put you over, if you know you've got that, you're going to be looking forward to that. That will also help kind of your mental health throughout the day too.
Yes. And then Joy mentioned, going back to the scale is just a guide. The scale doesn't know all the other things going on. You can't go just by the scale. Physical changes are the real deal. That is so true. Because I mean, it's crazy to me. I weigh more. Now it's only about like 7 pounds, but I weigh more than I did when I met Chris, by 7 pounds. But I am 3 sizes smaller. That's crazy. Maybe it's 2. But I am like a crazy amount of sizes smaller, but I weigh more. So like definitely the scale does not show everything.
Absolutely. And back to the time management thing, it's really difficult to always get your stuff in. That's where planning as much as you can will help. Also with meal prepping too, if you've got 30 minutes free, try to prep as much as you can when it comes to snacks and future meals, and that might help a little bit as well.
I'm sorry, I just noticed we can click on a comment and it'll show it on the screen. Anyways, I'm sorry, but oh my goodness, that is so cool. Anyways, but going back to also the time management, sometimes you also, I need to be up a little bit. Sometimes you also need to just give yourself grace, because you are doing something incredible by being your husband's caregiver. And sometimes you just got to give yourself grace. Not every day is going to be perfect. Not every day is going to go how you planned. And just trying is better than nothing. So give yourself grace when you need to.
Absolutely. Your husband depends on you, so that needs to be kind of your priority sometimes. But make sure that you're also taking care of yourself too, so that you can continue being his caregiver for as long as possible.
But sometimes just giving ourselves grace is another mental battle, because sometimes I forget. It's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to not do everything how I expect it, and it's okay if things don't always go as planned.
Absolutely. And Joy mentioned she is down 24 pounds because of her mindset. She's tracking, she's measuring her food, and she's being honest with herself, because no one else is going to see her tracker except for her, unless, of course, she shares it. And then Vicky also mentioned on YouTube that numbers are not the only sign of success. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about non-scale victories. There are tons of non-scale victories that you can use to see your success.
And then one thing also on Instagram, she said, we tried meal planning or meal prepping and found food being thrown away. We ate at the doctor appointments weekly. So one thing that we do, because our life can be crazy busy sometimes, we plan things that literally take 5 minutes to prep.
Yeah, and not only that, but we don't prep for the whole week.
No.
We'll typically prep for 1 or 2 days at a time, so there is minimal waste. It definitely can be very.
But if you're finding yourself needing something for dinner, I found this girl. She makes something called dumb dinners, and they literally take 5 minutes to prep, and they are the greatest things in the world. I made one last night. It was a ricotta bake, and it took us like 5 minutes to throw together. And it tasted incredible. So look on Pinterest if you have a Pinterest, and things that will take you super quick. Also, crockpot meals are your best friend.
Absolutely. But going back to the numbers, and not the only signs of success, clothes that are fitting better. I changed beforehand, but my shirt that I wear to the gym, it's one of my absolute favorite shirts.
It looks like a dress on him.
It is huge on me.
Like, I was just thinking I can wear that with leggings and it would be super cute.
Yes. So clothes fitting, your rings, like if I'm not careful, this will fly off.
And mine actually did fly off the other day. I was showing
She's like,
him how
look,
loose
it's gonna fall off,
and we had to go look for it. Like, it flew across the room, and I was like, ew.
Absolutely. Having more energy. I feel like we now have more energy than we ever have. And that is also a good sign. That's a sign of physical fitness. Even though we've still got some weight on us, having more energy is huge and tremendous.
Yes, and our daughter can even see it too, like seeing that we have more energy, and my kids at work can see it. Like, it's awesome.
And then lots of other things will improve. Having better blood pressure, better blood sugar, because us, we have the insulin resistance, so getting better sugar numbers is really, really huge. Stairs are easier. Goodness,
we live. We have to go upstairs to go to our room, and I'm not out of breath anymore. It's crazy. We sometimes do opt out of the stairs, like if we're somewhere that has an elevator, but like we've gone to hotels before, and it was just faster to walk the 3 flights of stairs to our hotel room instead of the elevator, because like the elevator was broken.
Yeah, there was one elevator and it took forever, so we would just go up the 3 flights of steps.
But it's crazy, because before I couldn't even walk up 1 flight of steps without being like, and I walked up 3 and was fine. Like, it's insane. Like, I forget how far I've come sometimes, and sometimes we all forget how far we come, which is another mental battle.
And Joy mentions not even just food prepping for the multiple days. She just food prepped in the morning before she got she left for work. She got dinner ready, and then her fiance was able to cook it that evening. So you don't have to do multiple days. I totally get where meal prepping can cause some food
Icks.
well, not just food waste, rather. That's what I meant. So definitely you can prep the day of or the night before. We do a lot of the stuff the night before. We do a lot of iced coffees. We do a lot of protein iced coffees rather.
That's our breakfast most days.
And we'll do that the night before too, so you don't have to do long
yeah, and
like multiple days.
even before when we meal prepped, it was literally like a day in advance. Like I can't do the whole eating the same thing for 5 days, so I totally get that.
Absolutely. But our mood is better when we go off track and we have a quote unquote cheat day. We get so grumpy. And Courtney, last time it happened, Courtney was like, was this how we felt all the time on a regular basis? And it must have been.
Like, and I noticed it the most with fried foods because we don't eat fried foods very often. And I'm just like, ugh. And especially like greasy foods now, I'm like, I don't like it. Like, I mean, I love the flavor, the taste, but I am miserable. And I'm like, this is how I felt all the time.
Yes. And Jody mentions starting to use Greek yogurt in their eggs, and it makes a really good difference. We love Greek yogurt, but we also do cottage cheese in our eggs. We'll blend it up so it doesn't have that texture, but you can lots of different things. But would like to challenge every single one of you this week. Write down just one, at minimum, one non-scale victory every single day, and then maybe next week when you join us for our live, come with a couple of those non-scale victories.
Yes,
we love when you share your victories with us, but let's share some non-scale victories. So next week, come back with a couple of non-scale victory things that you can share, and we'll be happy to share them with everyone else.
And sometimes when you are looking for them, you don't think about them until you're looking for them, if that makes sense. Like, I don't always realize that my pants are fitting looser or anything, but I can notice that, like, oh, I was able to walk a little faster today or a little longer, or it was easier getting into the car today because we're driving a low car right now and I hate it. But it's easier to get in and just things like that. So sometimes when you're looking for them, you wouldn't notice them if you weren't looking for them.
And then next, motivation doesn't always last. There's a big myth that successful people are always motivated. Let me tell you, they're not. They may look like they're always motivated, but not always.
Yes, people ask us all the time, how do you stay motivated? We don't. You did not see the days that we sat in our car for 30 minutes on our phone outside of the gym before actually going into the gym, or the days that we were like, I don't want to do this, and we left and just went shopping at the shopping center next to the gym.
Granted, we did get our steps in. Yes, we definitely have those days.
But we are not. Our motto, consistency over motivation. It will eventually bring the motivation back, but it might take a little while for that motivation to come back.
Absolutely. And instead of asking, do I feel like working out, ask what small thing can I do to get some extra movement in too. So that's going to be something that's pretty substantial. So can you take a 5-minute walk, make one of your meals a little bit more healthier, drink a little bit more water, or make sure you get enough protein. Enjoy. She's already sharing some of her non-scale victories, is 19 days in a row tracking, and that is amazing. And then something about sunshine sending you a motivational text. So if you have someone that can send you those motivational text messages, that is also really great.
Oh, I think she means with working out when you don't feel like it, and we tell her, and she's like, hey, go. Yeah.
Yes. She definitely is a big encourager. We will let her know sometimes when we're struggling to go to the gym, and she'll say, you better do it. And because we don't want to let Joy down, we go in and get working out. So that's definitely a big help. So make sure you find someone like Joy, get a little bit of joy in your life, and make sure that you have someone that gives you the motivation when you need to.
Be able to finish it, or
I think so, but we've already talked a lot about that. So the big thing is, Courtney mentioned earlier, is being kind to yourself. Missing one workout doesn't mean you're a failure. Eating one unhealthy meal isn't a failure. One bad weekend doesn't erase months of progress. So instead of thinking, oh man, I blew it, try, what can I learn from this to do better? Maybe this little break, like we had more calories and more bites than we did on a normal basis for a long time on Sunday. And that little reset kind of helped get us into this week better.
I'm at a new low this morning. So.
Yes, absolutely. So what can you do to learn from this? And progress over perfection.
Yes, progress over perfection every single time. You're never going to be perfect, but just what can you do to take that one step towards my goals?
Mhm.
And just remind yourself grace. Give yourself grace.
And absolutely. So, as you go throughout this next week, journal a non-scale victory. If weighing every day is mentally taxing for you, which it can be sometimes, maybe weigh in a little bit less. Courtney doesn't mind weighing in every day because she understands the fluctuation. But if it doesn't do your mind any good, stop weighing so often.
And someone on Instagram mentioned that they had thyroid blood work done today, and T3, basically it was normal. It was the normal range. It hasn't been normal in over a year, and they've lost 12 pounds.
Which is amazing.
That's amazing. The same thing happened to me. I had to take thyroid medicine for a while, and last time I went and did blood work, everything was normal, and it was the best feeling. So I get that. That is incredible.
And Jody mentions working out with the audiobooks. Audiobooks are really, really, really helpful. So absolutely. So we were going to go ahead on and get to our recipe for the week. And then we pretty much got through most of what we were going to talk about anyway. So we just wanted to leave you with as much encouragement as possible. So now let's shift over to our recipe for the week.
Okay. This is cheesy chicken sloppy joes. Super easy. It's another one of those throw everything in a crock pot and it's done kind of things. But you need 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast, a tablespoon of minced garlic, a medium onion chopped up, a tablespoon of brown sugar replacement. We usually do Swerve, but it's a tablespoon. If you don't go out and buy a whole thing of brown sugar, it's only a tablespoon. If all you have is regular, it's not going to add a crazy amount. A tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, basically a bag of fat-free shredded cheddar cheese, 8 Carb Master buns, which are from Kroger, but basically the keto buns. And then what does that say?
Half a cup
of sugar-free ketchup. We use G. Hughes. But spray your crock pot, add the chicken breast to the crock pot, dice the onion, and add it on top of the chicken. If you're like me and don't like crunchy onions, saute the onion first. It will get softer, but I like mine like crazy soft. Add all the other ingredients except for the cheese and hamburger buns. Cook on high 3 to 4 hours. Remove the chicken and shred it. Add the chicken back and add in the bag of fat-free shredded cheddar. Stir it until it's melted. Serve it on the hamburger buns with whatever toppings that you prefer. This is
between 3
55.
I think so.
Probably
she needs glasses.
It's blurry. 55.3 grams protein, but I do need glasses. Between 3 and 8 bites, depending on your plan. 340 calories, 10 net carbs. So, I mean, you can pair this with veggies. You can pair it with mac and cheese. You can pair it with French fries, tater tots, whatever you want. You can have it by itself. You can also make a cottage cheese bowl out of it, which is what we've done before. So now I might have to add this to our recipe for soon because it's so good.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for joining us this week on our kind of a mental health kick. Remember, come back next week with some of your non-scale victories. And we love hearing your successes.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you, Joy. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and we will see you all next week.
Yes.
All righty, guys. Have a good one. Bye.